Very good morning, grade 9. In our previous lecture, we have learned about that what is motion, what are the different examples of motion. Okay, today I am going to tell you a few important points regarding motion. Okay, so before that, let's have a recapitulation of the previous topics sent to you in form of worksheet. So can you explain me what is motion? Please write answer in comments. So motion, we know motion is something, if an object is changing its position with respect to some another object, it is said to be motion. Okay, for example, if this is the whiteboard and I am the one another object here, that object whiteboard is at rest, and if I changes my position, I move from here to there, that means with respect to you I am changing my position. So I was in a motion for a little time. Okay, like that. If I am moving here and there in front of the board, and this board is considered as the reference point. So every time when we need to tell about the motion of object, please make sure we are having some fixed point, some reference point, or some origin. Without that, we can't explain, we can't say that object is in motion. Okay, for example, for maximum situation, a same object may be in rest with respect to some another object. It may be in motion with respect to you, but the same object or same person may be in vice versa. Means if he is in rest with respect to you, he may be in motion with respect to some another object. As we have discussed in our previous lecture, that the passenger sitting inside a bus, and that this bus is traveling from your home to school. So according to you, the audience inside that bus, you all are in rest with respect to each other, but outside your bus window, for example, electric poles, electric trees, some another observer, they are in motion with respect to you. Similarly, if for an outside observer, if let your bus is crossing someone, and let I am the observer over there, as soon as that you are going while traveling in that bus, so the passenger sitting in the bus, they are all in rest with respect to themselves, but with respect to me, you will be in motion. Okay, is that clear to you? So conclusion was that rest and motion are relative terms, means we can't define one without the help of another. Means if we want to tell that some object is in stationary or some object is in motion, so both situations would be clear in our brain. That was the scene. Okay, now let's talk few more points about motion. I have written here, motion among objects may be in form of straight line, circular, rotation and vibration. Even combination of these may occur. Okay, let's discuss one by one what it does, what it is mean, and what does it stands for. For example, if we talk about straight line motion, if we talk about straight line motion is possible. Straight line motion is possible that it is the railway track. Okay, so if a train is running on that, so we can say train is in a straight line motion. Means only one dimension is required to move For example, we may have 3 dimensions. For example, this is the 3 coordinate axis, or you can say Cartesian plane. It is denoting x-axis, it is denoting y-axis, that it is denoting z-axis. So if an object require only one dimension to specify its motion, that object may be said in the one dimension. That object is moving along the x-axis only. So rest 2 dimensions are not required for that object. So we can say that object is in one dimensional motion. Okay. Straight line motion may be also defined as one dimensional motion. Is that clear? So for straight line motion, we need a smooth straight path. Then only we can say that any object moving on it may be considered as the object moving in a straight line. Okay, and the object should not be a drunk person. Otherwise you can observe the motion of a drunk person, how he will go, he will move while making a zigzag path. So it should be a controlled device, some electronic device that we can control and we can observe its stationary motion. Okay. Now next was circular motion. What do you mean by circular motion? Circular motion is something, path of the circular motion is, you can say, the curved path. Path is curved like that. Path is curved. We can say that path is curved and the object is moving along that, like that. For example, in circus we have seen that death well, there is a bike rider, he moves in circular motion of the object of that inside that death well. I hope you have seen circus at some stages, maybe in TV serials or maybe live you have seen. Okay, so for circular motion, if an object is moving in a circular path, then we can say that object is in circular motion. Similarly, there are some another motion, that is rotation or rotatory motion or vibration or vibratory motion. So rotation means, for example, motion of a globe. You can say that when we rotate that globe, you can say it is having rotatory motion or it is having rotation. Similarly, maybe you have observed so many musical instruments in your DMA classes. You have used your drum, your that guitar, violin, etc. Maximum of musical devices are having strings attached to between 2 positions, and as soon as some motion is provided to these strings, we can hear a melodious voice over there. So the strings vibrate and then they produce the melodious sound. So different type of motion we have discussed. Even motion may exist in form of combination of these, maybe straight, circular, or straight plus rotatory motion, or maybe something motion with rotation as well as circular motion. Can you tell me few examples of combination of these all type of motions? Have you ever seen? Have you ever observed? So what would you say? Okay, try your answer in comments. Okay, what would you say? What happened to the motion of a planet Let Earth is revolving around the sun. So sun is the fixed point over here. Sun is the fixed point. Because we know sun is stationary at some point, and in elliptical paths you can say all another planets are revolving around Earth. Let Earth is revolving around it. Okay, this is the sun over here. So what is happening? The Earth is rotating on its own axis, about its own axis, and about the sun. Okay, so that planetary motion is having combination of motions, rotation as well as elliptical, or you can say circular motion for better understanding. Okay, similarly there may be some another motions, combination of motions. For example, when a vehicle is moving from one point to another point, let this is point A, this is point B. So what may happen? Vehicle is having wheels, wheel will rotate, and the vehicle will also go from here to here. It is going to cover this much path length. So the vehicle is having here combination of straight as well as rotational motion. Straight as well as rotational motion. We can say that rotational motion actually exists about some fixed axis. Okay, for example, wheels rotate about that axis or axle. Okay, similarly fan of our houses, ceiling fans, etc., they are also rotating about a fixed axis. So these are the examples of rotational motion. Okay, thank you student, that's it for today.